What's up, guys? Welcome to week 2 of our strength and conditioning program, focusing on sports performance. Hopefully you guys had fun with week 1. If you haven't done the week 1 stuff, I encourage you to start there before you get into week 2. At least get a couple of those under your belt before you dive into this one. We'll be building on a lot of the same principles we worked on last week. We're going to show you some progressions of some exercises and introduce a couple new ones for you. So we're going to start here with a knee to chest. Chelsea's going to stay up nice and tall as she's doing this. She's not bringing her chest towards her knee. That core is engaged. She's pulling that knee up. Notice how tall she's staying. Try not to fold. 5 each side there. Now we're going to go into a figure 4 stretch. Starting to open up the hips a little bit. Again, that nice tall posture. Try not to fold down as you're doing this. Go a little slower. There we go. Now we're going to go into our heel pull. Starting to open up the quad. Just about a 2 or 3 second hold here. We're not holding a long stretch. That isn't great for prepping the body for sport-specific maneuvers. Again, she's nice and tall. She's trying not to lean either way. She wants to keep those knees fairly close together. She pulls that knee back, pulls that heel back. Okay, let's go into our crossover stretch. So one foot in front of the other. Just gonna feel this anywhere from glute down to the toes on the back side there. So as she goes down, she's reaching slightly across to really open up the right side on that side and the left side on that side. You'll feel the leg and back. We'll do about 5 of these each direction. Okay, then we're going to move into a lunge and reach. So as she steps forward, she's reaching that opposite hand up, trying to open up that entire side of the body. So here that left side's opening up, really reach as tall as you can. You'll feel this hip flexor through your core. Couple more each side. Reach as high as you can. Okay. We're going toe pulls. So this one, she's reaching down. She's going to stretch the hamstring, and then she's actually going to come up and lengthen the entire body. So we're actually flossing out the nervous system with this one too. And just getting that entire body prepped for the movements we're about to do. One more each side. Then we're going to go into our side to sides. Okay, so it's basically a side lunge. Good. And you're going to feel this through the insides of the thigh. Going 5 each direction. Again, it's just a 2 or 3 second pause with each of these. Okay, inchworms, Chelsea's favorite.
Oh.
So she's reaching down, she gets that hamstring stretch, and then she's going to slowly walk her hands out and then walk them back. that core activated too. A little bit of shoulder stability. Two more? One more?
One more. Nice try.
Okay, open bucks next. So she's gonna be lying on her side. She's gonna bend both legs up into this 90-degree position, arms out in front of her, and then she's gonna open back. We just heard a little pop in the back.
Feel great.
The key with this is she's trying to keep this top hip forward. So she's gonna keep that top knee just in front of her bottom knee so we don't move as much from the hip. We're trying to open up her back here. You can do this against the wall too if it helps to just stabilize you. You should feel a good stretch anywhere in that spine that's tight. We'll do 5 that way, so legs up to 90 degrees. Hands out in front. A little tight on this side. And you'll notice some differences side to side. It's kind of good to take note of that. You'll start to notice a pattern, maybe of weakness, maybe of tightness. And those are really where we want to focus our energy with some of these workout routines. Okay, let's go into spine rotations. So this one, she's in an all-fours position. She's going to take that right elbow down towards her other elbow, and then she's trying to open up through her chest as much as she can, get that elbow pointed to the sky if she can. You'll feel this a little more in the upper back. Try not to lock out that right elbow.
Not moving as much.
Yep. So get a little tight on one side. All right, and then we're going into quad pull. So again, lying on her side. Her bottom leg's bent up in front, and then she's taking her right heel and coming back. So she's gonna feel this through the front of the thigh, through that hip flexor. You want to be careful with this one especially, that when you're pulling that leg back, you're not going into a big arch in that low back. You want to kind of keep your core engaged with this, get to that point where you feel a really good stretch through the front, and then ease back out of it. If you're pulling so far that you're just arching your back, back off a little bit. Set that core and just get to a point where you don't feel that. All right, good.
Ready to go.
Warm-up's over. Let's get to the workout. So we've done the dynamic mobility. We're gonna hop right into it. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna start with our clamshell. But Chelsea's gonna progress this today. So we're actually gonna go into that side plank position. And then you're working on the clamshell from there. So she's got her core activated. We got this nice straight line. Slow, controlled lift of that leg. We're gonna shoot for 20 reps on this one.
10. Halfway.
Almost there. She's not folding forward. Shoulder to hip to knee are nice and straight. This one's even challenging without the band, so make the modifications that you need. We're going to switch to the other side. That elbow's directly under her shoulder. Good activation of that core. Slow, controlled lift up and down. Don't rush through these. Nice. Should feel this in the hips. You'll feel your core working too, especially when you're in this plank position. If this is too hard or you feel like you can't do this yet, just stick with the clamshell with your hip down. Chelsea's ready to rock today though, so she wants the hard stuff to start.
First one.
We'll see how she feels at the end.
Okay.
So 20 of those. Now we're going to go into our reverse clam. So she's going to go a little bit easier band here. Band's going to go around the ankles instead of the knees. Good. So she wants to keep the space between her knees several inches the same throughout the movement. She's lifting that top leg up and down. Nice controlled movement. Her pelvis stays real still. We're going to shoot for 20 of these too. Her hips flex to about 30 degrees, so it's not dead straight. Starting to burn a little bit.
How can you tell?
Switcheroo. Good, you'll notice Chelsea's keeping her pelvis real still as she's doing this. She's not rocking back and forth. That space between the knees is staying the same as much as she can. And you're just spinning that top leg up and down. Nice controlled movement up and down. Again, big hip stabilizer.
Ooh.
Strengthening.
20.
Good. 20 of those. Okay. We're going to move into our fire hydrants here. You going to leave band on?
Yes.
She's going to go for it. So you can take the band off, leave the band on, whatever you're comfortable with. So she's progressed this one. If you've noticed, she's actually lifted her knees up. So she's in more of a plank type position. Requires a lot more core stability. She's keeping that back nice and neutral. She's not collapsing through that low back. A lot of demand on this stance leg here.
So 10 and then switch.
10 reps, switch to this other side. Try not to lock those elbows out. Good, so this is a progression from the one we did last week where she had her knees on the ground. So do what you feel comfortable with. If you feel yourself rocking all over the place, I would encourage you to just stick with the knees on the ground. Bring that head up into a little more neutral position. There you go, neck long. Good. Couple sets of 10 of these. Don't rush them.
That's my weak side.
And good. Okay. Nice. All right. So band comes off. We're going to go into a side plank, and we're going to progress this one a little bit from the one we did last week. Last week we did some holds. This one we're actually going to add some movement to it. So we want that nice straight line.
Oh, this one first.
Head to toes.
30 seconds.
And what Chelsea's going to do is just a slow, controlled dip up and down. Now, as you go down, you want to make sure you don't fold into that V position. Keep that nice straight line from that shoulder all the way down. This should not be a fast movement too. You're controlling that descent and then lifting up. The demand is all on the bottom leg, hip, core with this one.
Everything. Switch.
We're doing 2 rounds of 30 seconds on these. Good.
So far, so good.
So we'll show you a couple modifications on the second round. Easy one to do is just do this from the knees. adding a little bit of movement into some of these exercises, making them a little bit more dynamic. Okay, we're going to go back to the same side. Chelsea's going to show you a little modification now. So this is the version from the knees. A little bit easier, you don't have as much of a lever arm. Still fairly challenging though, and I challenge you to just go slower with some of these. If you find yourself really rushing through them, see if you can control that movement a little bit more throughout that full range.
Forgot the fan.
Yeah, we promised we were going to bring a fan this time. Not a lot of airflow around here.
Okay.
Good. Just to make sure we don't put too much pressure on the shoulder, keep that elbow directly underneath it. Don't let it get out away from you. So 2 rounds of 30 seconds of these.
Definitely good. Did this 1 second.
Okay. So now we're going into our front plank progression. So Chelsea's actually going to go up into the plank. We're going to time this for 30 seconds again, and she's going to be walking back and forth. So the goal is still to keep that spine pretty neutral. We don't want a lot of moving and shaking through that core. Go a little bit slower, especially on those transitions. Keep this as stable as you can.
Here we go. How's it?
There you go. So do about 3 steps one way and then 3 steps the other way. 30 seconds, we're gonna give that one a little bit of a break.
Wipe off the sweat. All right.
All right, round 2. Don't hyperextend those elbows.
It's a real problem.
We're getting a little more shoulder stability involved in this week 2 program. You'll notice as she gets a little tired, there's a little more drop in her hips. Well, I guarantee you she's working hard. Good. Okay.
That's the end of that.
So that's kind of our hip core. We're going to move into more strength exercises now. So grab your band, probably the heavier resistance band if you have it. Really any band will do. Band's going to go above the knees. Last week we did the squat with the band. We're actually going to move straight into the squat and side step. So Chelsea's in that squat. She's trying to keep that knee alignment, especially as she steps out. So we don't want that crash into the knee. Show them a bad one there. Yeah.
It's hard to do it that way when you're trying not to.
So you picture that point of the kneecap should be in line with your second toe, pointing straight out. We're shooting for 10 laps here. Hopefully one of us is counting.
Doing a better job.
She's doing 3 steps each way.
6. It's really burning now.
Yeah. Nice. Should feel this around the hips. Watch those knees wanting to come together.
9.
Drive out against that band. One more lap. 10. Good. Okay.
Jello legs.
Now we're going into our backwards lunge, but we're gonna add a little power component to this one. So Chelsea's gonna go into that step back lunge, and then she's driving up through this stance leg into that runner's pose. We're gonna do 5 of these each side, so really focus on that drive up. You want the whole foot pushing that ground away, and she's coming up nice and tall, using glute, quad, hamstring to power her up. Good.
It was 5, then better do one more.
One more, yeah. Good. Back, so big push through that left leg. You don't want to feel like you're pushing off this back leg. That one's just there as kind of a rudder to stabilize you. Good. Same principles we worked on with the squat. You're not letting that knee dive in, keeping that good alignment. Engage through core, engaging that hip to control you. Okay. Back to the band.
Good intermission.
Go into heavy resistance. Okay, we're gonna go back into that lateral step out. So she's down in her squat. She's got that left leg working on keeping that alignment. We don't want this diving in. So this stays as still as she can get it. The rest of her core trunk is staying centered. That band wants to pull that knee this direction, but she's not gonna let it. Shooting for 20 of these, 15 to 20 reps. This one's brutal after everything else we already did.
20. Whew.
Good.
Breathing a little harder this week.
A little bit. Looking good. Hips burning?
Oh yeah. Most of my leg.
So Chelsea's kind of running through this stuff. If you guys ever need to just press pause, give yourself a little break, feel free. Awesome. Okay. We're going back to our kind of a medium resistance band or your lighter resistance band. This is going to go around the ankles. We're actually going to be doing quick steps now. So Chelsea's in that little bit of a squat, and she's as quick as she can, 1 foot at a time, and then back in.
30 seconds.
Picture there's a box you're stepping out of and then back into. She's still keeping those knees out. They're not coming and crashing together. There, good. All right, we got a little break here. Need any water?
I'll wait.
You can wait till the end.
For a bounce. Okay. Ready, go.
All right, round 2. Emphasis is on the quick feet here.
Slowing down.
Still gonna feel this in those hips. Those glutes aren't sore after this week, then probably skip already to week 6. Almost there. Good. Awesome. Okay. Band off. We got 3 more exercises left. Almost there. This one, we're going to use these furniture sliders You guys can use dish towels at home on a hardwood floor, some sort of slick surface. So Chelsea's gonna go up into her bridge position, and then she's gonna alternate legs out. She wants to try to keep her pelvis as stable as possible, try not to arch her back. We're doing we're counting these, 20 reps of these.
Yep.
Each side. Good. Should feel this in the back of the leg. Still focusing on that core engagement. Count?
Whew, yep.
Sweet.
Water break for me.
Okay, water break, and then we're gonna move into our final section, more balance exercises. These are a little bit more calm, controlled. You made it through the hardest part here. So the first one, we're gonna do our single leg runner touch, but we've added a component here. So Chelsea's gonna add in the little press exercise. You can see why we call this the balance section. So we got a, what, 8-pound weight here?
8-pounder.
You don't need a ton of weight with this.
Ugh, I gotta work on this one.
Really, the emphasis is the control. Water bottle, jug of milk. Anything you have lying around, just a few pounds is fine. And we're working on that reach, controlled, and then drive up and press. Let me do a couple facing this way too after this one.
Okay.
So Chelsea's hinging at that hip,
And she's tired.
driving up. There's a reason we did the balance stuff at the end when you're a little bit fatigued. That's sometimes when injuries can happen. So we're really trying to focus on that control, get some of these stabilizers kicked in. 5 reps each side. That's 2.
Yep. It's a lot easier before everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, Chelsea did some warm-ups of these before we did the workout, and piece of cake. But now,
They're a little prettier.
a little bit more challenging.
Oh, I don't think that one counts.
That's a no rep.
Oh gosh, here we go. Get it together.
So don't feel bad if you're moving, wobbling all over the place. I mean, Chelsea's been working on this stuff for a while. And you can see there's a little bit of a struggle, but pulling it together. Good.
I think there's one more.
One more. Good. Okay.
Last one.
We got one more. So this is a progression from the 3-direction slider we did last week. We call it the Y balance drill. So Chelsea's gonna reach in front, back, and then back behind her. As she goes behind her, especially, that knee's gonna wanna collapse in. So she's doing everything she can on that left side to make sure that that knee doesn't wind in and collapse.
Ooh.
Good.
Last one.
I'm surprised we're not much shaking even after all that work. Good.
Okay. So
All right, we're doing 5 reps of these.
You don't have to perfectly hit a cone or anything, just a target. Try to push yourself.
Nice. 2 more, and then we're done. This is the last one.
There we go.
Sweet.
Nice job, everybody.
Good job. Week 2 in the books. How you feel, Chels?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. We'll see you for week 3.